A Monday Night Raw with blood and no John Cena? What happened? You're about to find out on this week's Raw Review.
Hey everybody, we're the Bayou Boys. I'm Boudreaux. And I'm Thibodeau. And there's three things that we love doing: eating boudin, eating crawfish, and watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B, Willie Boudreaux. This is going to be the Monday Night Raw review for the week of November 4th. November 3rd, I am sorry. I put the wrong date on this little thing. I'm sorry. November 3rd, 2014. I'm a dunce. But anyway, don't take that to heart. I know you know who I'm talking to. But anyway, guys.
Not talking to me.
Yeah, well, let's go to him next and introduce the other people on the review this week. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio himself, the Hardcore One, Rick Head. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Billy, and I don't think anybody's going to hold it to you for holding on the wrong date because, you know what, we're still getting with this whole fallback date and time thing. So, you know, even I get fucked up every now and then. Oh, I can't say that. I'm sorry, but pardon my French.
Or you're Spanish, or you're Italian, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, also he's the man from South Park, simply known as Cartman. Cartman, what's up?
The sky.
That is the correct answer. You win a cookie.
Yay.
Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and start talking about Monday Night Raw. And one of the things they heavily advertised throughout the duration of this week's Monday Night Raw is the fact that the United States Championship would be on the line, not on Monday Night Raw, not on a SmackDown, not on a pay-per-view, but on the WWE Network after Monday Night Raw. Now, what exactly happened in that match, we'll tell you when we get to it. At the opening match, we got a surprise return from Vince McMahon, of all people. And one of the things they really needed to do, you know, for Team Cena versus Team Authority is they really needed to kind of juice up the storyline in a sense. You know, kind of make the storyline, the angle, a little bit more interesting, you know, than just having plain old Team Cena versus Team Authority. You know, if that's going to be your only Survivor Series tag team match that's being built so far, they had to do something to kind of build it up. And Rick, I think with them having Vince McMahon go out there and announce the stipulation that if Team Authority loses, the Authority would no longer be in power, I think they accomplished just that.
Yeah, that's a great stipulation, and to be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to Survivor Series now, because usually, honestly, with me, Survivor Series has always been kind of one of those pay-per-views that's like, yeah, it comes and it goes, whatever, but now with this, I would really like to see a big change because, you know, the Authority, while it's been it's getting a little bit stale, and I'd like to see something new happen, so...
Yeah, I think a lot of fans are waiting for something new to be happening in the storyline of the Authority. But anyway, on the tail end of that promo, Dean Ambrose comes out to get ready for his third match in a row with Cesaro. And you see him shaking hands with Vince McMahon. Now, I don't know if there's any indication of what might be going on right there with Ambrose and McMahon. But, you know, only time will tell as we get to the opening matchup with, again, Ambrose and Cesaro for the third time. I don't know if I like the idea of them replaying from what they did on SmackDown by putting the pumpkin on Cesaro's head. I don't know if that really did anything to hurt his gimmick or anything like that, you know, just to make him look like a joke. But anyway, it was still a solid match. Really nothing, I can't say nothing really bad about it. Ambrose with the dirty deeds on Cesaro. And it still pegs the question, though, since when did the dirty deeds go from being the kick-out bulldog to a double-arm DDT in the style of Drew McIntyre? That really just puzzles me, to be honest. But anyway, one of the things I got to say about Damien Mizdow, week in, week out, is that he is just gaining in popularity. He is just gaining in fans. You know, he's going above and beyond the Call of Duty when it comes to his gimmick, and you know, and fans are really starting to gravitate toward him. And you know, it wasn't too long ago where we did a video, you know, five ways to improve John Cena's gimmick in WWE. And one of the things I did mention was the improvement to Damien Mizdow Mizdow or gimmick, and Ecstasy 69 kind of put a comment on there saying, you know what, well, Sandows' gimmick was over already until Cena buried him. Again, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. There are a lot of, that move is really left open to interpretation. There are a lot of people who see it in various different forms. Ecstasy sees it as, Cena burying Sandow. I see it as Sandow's gimmick was not over, getting buried and giving him a chance to go on and try a new gimmick to make him better in the WWE. And quite frankly, he's done that with Damien Mizdow. The matchup in itself wasn't really bad at all to say, but it was the Miz and Jimmy Uso, and it was off a distraction from Mizdow that allowed Miz to hit the skull-crushing finale and pick up the victory right there. Now, Cartman, I don't know what to make about this thing with Tyson Kidd and Natalya. They had him go against Sheamus, but I don't know. Do you think they're trying too hard with this Tyson Kidd and Natalya angle they're trying?
They're trying to bring Total Divas on to Raw because nobody watches the show because it's retarded. But they're trying to bring it on Raw, and it's not working. They need to. They did it with Tyson, the gimmick. They should have left it down in NXT a little longer to see how well it actually worked before they brought it back up to the main roster. Because the gimmick, it's.
Yeah, it kind of leaves a little bitter taste in your mouth, to be rather honest. But the way they finished off this match is both Tyson Kidd and Sheamus were on the outside. Tyson Kidd kind of uses his wife as a shield and beat the count back into the ring, and Tyson Kidd ate a bro kick for his troubles for that one. So that's how they panned out with that. Following that, we had with Dolph Ziggler, who was in the ring. He's awaiting his match, and out comes the Authority, and Triple H is attempting to sway Dolph Ziggler away from Team Cena, promising all kinds of stuff. And Ziggler says, you know what, the one thing I want is you guys out of power. And Triple H immediately put Ziggler in an Intercontinental title match against Seth Rollins. And Rick, and when I heard that, my initial thoughts were we were going to see a new Intercontinental champion just from that promo.
Yeah, you know what? I do have to agree with you. But, I did like the promo, and a lot of things that Triple H said rang true. Ziggler is a really great wrestler. He has all the things that could become a great wrestler. Unfortunately, he does have the glass ceiling, and that glass ceiling is John Cena. He has become a world champion, and every time he gets up there, he gets knocked down. Now, some people can say it's because of John Cena, and maybe that is because of the politics in the back, but why? Why does he always get knocked down? It's just, and now here he is. He was the Intercontinental champion. Once he became that, he started going on this massive losing streak. He only won maybe 1 or 2 matches. And when those matches he won, it really didn't matter. And now, we knew he was going to go against, Seth Rollins, and I'm like, yeah, he's going to get his ass kicked. And unfortunately, it sucked.
It's WWE wasting another talent.
It's a shame, but yes, yeah. And that's exactly how it is.
I was saying, look at the Mizdow. Look at Damien Mizdow. He's a hell of a talent. It's just WWE's wasting the gimmick, or wasting the talent. No. They've done it with so many people. Well, I'm gonna look at when Gail Kim was in WWE. What did she do as a talent?
Well, pretty much nothing.
Look at TNA.
All is what she did.
And now look at the way she is in TNA.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly my point. WWE just buries talent.
Because it's all about the politics.
Good guys. And you big names like Cena, Orton, whatever, and then everybody else is.
Well, yeah, as I was saying, it's all about the politics. And with getting the situation, I know we're digressing a little bit, but with Gail Kim, she was pretty much held down from the Bellas because the Bellas wanted that spot, and unfortunately, because the Bellas were in with John Cena and Daniel Bryan, I don't know if how close, or at least they were moving in that spot at the time. Forget it. She didn't even have a chance.
We get to the Intercontinental title match, and we see what we thought we were going to see. Apparently it was the Authority, almost getting their way, and Rollins curb stomps Ziggler and we're on the verge of a new Intercontinental Champion, and then out comes Randy Orton, RKO's Rollins, and the referee freezes. I mean, just literally freezes and does nothing. Doesn't call for the bell, doesn't do nothing. He was just frozen in his tracks. And a lot of people are wondering, okay, why didn't the referee call for the bell? That's a disqualification. And just nothing. And they even went to commercial break, and there was no explanation as to why the referee didn't even call for the bell. I don't think WWE would probably even want to recognize the fact that the referee botched that spot right there.
That's probably something a lot of people wouldn't notice either.
Actually, on Twitter, Vince Russo called it a hole.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, basically, one of those things that'll probably go unanswered in the chronicles of wrestling history, to be honest. We do get an interesting little vignette. Of course, backstage, Randy Orton wants to match with Seth Rollins. Triple H grants it and said, you know what, you finish it tonight, and then you're going to pat each other on the back, and you're going to be partners in Survivor Series. But now this Eyes video vignette, and a lot of you guys on the Facebook page have indicated it to be Luke Harper as the voice in the vignette. And it kind of fits if you think about it. It's it's kind of creepy. It's it's got that vibe to it. So I wouldn't be surprised for it to be Luke Harper. But the real question, Cartman, is when and where. I mean, where exactly are they're going now with Luke Harper?
It depends. It's kind of hard to say because they kind of had him split away from Bray Wyatt, and the fact they're keeping the creepy, kind of weird gimmick, it's kind of hard to tell what exactly they're going to do with that gimmick. I mean, hell, it couldn't be worse than the Erick Rowan part of the gimmick. Yeah, but
let's talk.
Yeah,
let's bring that up just a smidge. Renee Young had just finished interviewing, or attempted to interview, Brie Bella, and Nikki Bella said, you know what, you can't have an interview unless I tell you to, and then we pan over, she's trying to throw it back to them, and then next, a hand grabs out and starts touching her hair. It's Erick Rowan with the sheet mask on. He pulls it up and says, "You're pretty." And Renee Young said, "Thank you." And yeah, that wasn't, Erick Rowan, stalker in the making, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, let's get back on track here. We get Titus O'Neil in the ring saying, he's going to do whatever he can to help the Authority until Ryback came out. And, it harkens back to something I've said, when he came back, when he first came back. Ryback is really more effective as a face than he was as a heel. And, you can really see that. And not only is he more effective as a face, he's more marketable, in my opinion, as a face, Rick, than he was as a heel.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, but if you watch that match, it looked like the Authority is going to try to flip him because they were obviously watching him in the back. Now, obviously, he's going to either tell the Authority to go to hell, or he's going to, jump, or he's going to, and jump ship with Cena, or he's going to jump on ship with the Authority, or he's just going to say, what, guys, leave me out of it, and just kind of go rogue on this one. So it's going to be very interesting what they're going to do with him in the next few weeks. Because, as you know, Randy Orton very complained because his shirts were not getting sold, being put on the back racks, because as heels, most of their shirts do not get sold as heels. Most of them. So, if he wants to start being marketable, as you said, he's going to have to stay face. And not to mention, guys get flip-flopped. That's not really good for their career.
No, you got a point there. Big Show and Mark Henry was not exactly the most technically sound, entertaining type of a match. Yeah, and even to the point where I actually do hear fans chanting for, whenever they started chanting for the commentary team, which was really still not up to par in my opinion, but whenever they start chanting for them, that's when the fans do not give a crap about what's going on in the ring. But the finish picked up just a little bit, it was a little strong on the finish. Mark Henry had hit him, Big Show with steel steps, causing him disqualification, and the referee did not botch the call on that one. And Henry picks up the Big Show and does the World's Strongest Slam onto steel steps to end that one. So, if they're building towards something, Cartman, for Survivor Series, they need to build up to something good, because what they did last night on Monday Night Raw was just really not up to par, in my opinion.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw was, no. It was just, no. Bad. But if they're going to build up something epic, they need to do what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely there. But anyway, we followed that with Nikki Bella and Emma, AJ Lee on commentary. As always, she's good on the mic. However, the fans chanting for CM Punk, CM Quitter, is really starting to get on my nerves, because that's, to me, in my opinion, that's disrespectful to AJ Lee. AJ Lee is out there to go out there and entertain the fans, and the fans are not even recognizing her. They're only chanting for CM Punk. So I don't, I disagree with that. And not only that, they say CM Punk's the greatest wrestler in the world. Yeah, CM Punk is the guy who took his ball and went home and said he did not care about the wrestling industry anymore.
I would say he was a hell of a talent, but the way he quit makes him seem like a tool.
Yeah, but apparently he still has legions of fans for some reason who are seeing beyond that. But anyway, it's Nikki Bella and Emma. As I expected, Nikki to hit the rack attack on Emma to pick up the victory. Then Nikki makes Brie go out to AJ Lee, slap her in the face. AJ knocks her down and then goes to chase Nikki Bella, the number one contender. And Nikki Bella does the typical heel cowardly run back, and that's pretty much how they end it. But something really interesting happened when we came back from commercial break following that, Rick, and that was this vignette for Xavier Woods, a new type of a gimmick for Xavier Woods, an almost James Brown type of a gimmick for him. What was your reaction to that, Rick, when you saw that?
I guess we over the past couple of weeks we were talking how that they were still trying to keep that Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E together as a group, and that group. The matches. My guess is that's what they're still trying to do. They're trying to give that a second shot. Now, they might be bringing that to television. So, let's see how this runs. That's my guess. Considering we did not see Big E or Xavier with them, Big E or Kofi with him, that's my, it's still, they're bringing it slowly to see how the gimmick works, and then bringing the other two in slowly. So, time will tell. Again, that's what I always say. I try not to make predictions. I always say time will tell.
Definitely. I'm going to be trying to bring in the join us here on the review in just a minute or so here on WGS-TV as we get to Zack Ryder and Rusev. Man, I feel so bad for Zack Ryder. I mean, as somebody's eating some Mario mushrooms, I need to stop it. The only time we can see Zack Ryder on TV nowadays is when he's jobbing. Yeah. Wow. Okay, phone, shut up. Yeah, it was basically Rusev just locking on the accolade to Zack Ryder to pick up the victory. And as Alfie, if you're listening, go to your Facebook. I am sending you the link. And they end up just cutting a promo for what's going to be happening with the United States Championship matchup after the Monday Night Raw, and that was pretty much it. They had Sheamus come out there and everything, and that's pretty much what it turned into. It was just a promo for the United States Championship matchup after the matchup was over. Following that, we had Stardust taking on Fernando of Los Matadores with Miz and Mizdow on commentary. Again, every time we see Mizdow, he's always doing something incredibly entertaining. And again, like I said earlier, going beyond the call of his gimmick to make it really entertaining. And El Torito was out there. El Torito did a slingshot dropkick onto Goldust, which then sent them into Miz and Mizdow on the commentary table, and while Stardust was distracted, Fernando hits a backstabber to pick up the victory. But Alfie is here now. Alfie, like I've been saying, every time we see Mizdow, he just gets more and more popular and more entertaining every time we see him.
To be honest, when I first saw the guy, I thought I'd never really liked the character. Well, never really like him due to the character, and he just bored me. Even
but now,
now I think this one is really bigging him up, and I really wanted the guy. I tell you what, before I saw this guy play, before I saw the whole Sandow Mizdow gimmick, I really couldn't be bothered to watch a Miz match. I mean, I stopped watching Miz matches about 2010. I mean, the guy just bores me, and now it has me really interested. Like, it's just hilarious just seeing him. It's hilarious. It really brings that flavor to the gimmick. I love it.
On to the main event of Monday Night Raw this week, Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. Very vicious matchup, but I'm a little surprised at the finish. It was just a basic wrestling hold. Rollins hitting a backslide pin on Orton to pick up the victory, and then of course they thought they were going to make it all nicey nice. Randy Orton shook hands with Seth Rollins, and then next thing you know, Orton snaps an RKO. Fans cheer. It looks like Orton was going to get the better of the Authority until the Authority ganged up on him. Rollins would then curb stomp Orton twice, once into the announce table, which busted him open, and yes, it was blood, and no, WWE didn't stop it to bring out a towel so that way they can, wipe away the blood and whatnot. And then
the second time of the night.
Yeah, that was the second time we saw blood. The first time was during Ambrose and Cesaro's match, and they didn't stop that matchup either. And then the second time Orton got curb stomped was into the steel steps. Now, the way they did that, it's really left open to interpretation. A lot of people think that, Orton's being written off to go film a movie because there's been heavily rumored that he has to go film a movie. I'm thinking it's a Marine movie. I'm not entirely positive about that, but and there's also a lot of people thinking that Orton's turned face. He's going to join Team Cena and stick it to the Authority for what happened with him and Rollins. So. Like I said, Rick, it's really left open to interpretation to the ending of Monday Night Raw, what exactly they're going to be doing with Randy Orton.
Yeah. Well, the movie, first off, is The Condemned 2. That is the movie that he's going away for. And, we were actually talking about this this past Saturday over on Will's show, In the News, with the Studley Man Ashley. And some are talking that possibly that they think that Randy Orton could possibly be jumping on to Team Cena, and I think it's going to be a little too soon, so I think that he might even be skipping out on Survivor Series and be coming back. But the way it ended now, you don't know. He might, he can come back in 2 or 3 weeks just before Survivor Series and says, you know what, guys, now I'm going to be on Team Cena, and, me and Cena are going to put our troubles behind each other. And
I was going to add to that, too. You might see Orton not be on a team, but come out and try to screw over the Authority.
Yeah, he could just jump in and just go rogue. So that's very well possible.
He did the Rollins Ziggler match.
Yeah, exactly. A lot could happen. So it could go 2 or 3 different ways.
Yeah. Now, to quickly touch upon with the United States Championship match that happened on the WWE Network following Monday Night Raw, really wasn't that impressive of a match, to be honest. It was, it was just basically Rusev locking on the accolade. Sheamus did not tap, but he did pass out. He did pass out, and the referee awarded the match to Rusev and the United States Championship. And we had a person on the Facebook page, Rick, that asked a very interesting question as I'm quickly trying to bring up my Facebook here on my little LG phone, which is not really all that efficient, but it gets the job for a prepaid phone. And as soon as I said that, the thing freezes. Yeah, thank you, LG phone, for doing that. We're only in the middle of a review here, so. But I was trying to bring up a point because somebody on the Facebook page really did bring up an interesting point as it pertains to the United States Championship on the post that you made, Rick, from last night. the one that you shared. I'm trying to bring it up right here. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize for a little bit of the delay, but I have it right here, and it is from our good friend Dossie Chatham. Dossie says, do you think more attention will be paid to that belt now, with the America versus Rusev feud, with the United States title at least featured in an actual storyline, or is it too late? They could have used the strap around Rusev during his feuds with Big E, Swagger, Mark Henry, and Big Show, but what are you going to do? Rick, how do you respond to that?
I was talking with Joseph Knight from the CWA about this just a little bit earlier, and him and I are thinking that, they could do so many different things with that title. Rusev could, make that the new USSR belt. He could treat that belt like a piece of shit and say, this belt is junk. This is. I might actually make that belt even worse off than it really is. You don't know. I mean, he could just take that whole. If you remember, for a while, John Cena, when they were doing that belts, they were taking the plates off and making it different plates. He could take that plate off and put it like the Russian plate on it. I could very well see him do something like that. They can go in that angle.
Yep, definitely. Well, guys and gals, unfortunately, this week there are no Facebook of a wrestling show. On Facebook, you guys will always have a chance to voice your opinions on Facebook on that show, and we always will read them out loud here on the review. So, that being said, it is now time to go into overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. I think the fans this week were really treated to a nice surprise with the return of Vince McMahon to WWE programming, live programming on there, and to announce that stipulation for Team Cena versus Team Authority. I thought that was a nice touch to have that. And I'm still a little puzzled as to why they had to have a title change on the WWE Network and not have it like on one of your flagship shows or have it on the pay-per-view is really still a mystery for me. But again, it was probably to bring more attention to the WWE Network. The first couple of hours really wasn't all that stellar. In my opinion, Ziggler versus Seth Rollins was a matchup that stands out to me a little bit more. Big Show and Mark Henry could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot better. Automatically, Nikki Bella and Emma, worst match of the night. I mean, really, the only thing that would have been a little bit worse if they hadn't had that matchup, and sadly enough, would have to be Big Show and Mark Henry, because that matchup, despite having a little bit of a stronger finish, about 95% of that match just fell flat. But anytime I see Nikki Bella in a ring, it's automatically worst match of the night. Kind of like anytime I see Dixie Carter and TNA, that's automatically worst segment of the night. That is how much I do not like them.
Unless it's Dixie Carter going through a table, but still.
Best match of the night, I'm going to give it to Ziggler and Rollins. I mean, and Ziggler's really been impressing me as of late. And I'm going to also attribute that to the promo they had before the matchup started. It was a really good promo from Ziggler and Triple H, and to follow that up with a really great match with Ziggler and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship, and then to have that kind of little twist on the finish. And a lot of fans are thinking that Ziggler was going to get screwed out of the championship, but only to have Randy Orton come out and RKO Seth Rollins. And again, referee needed to call the bell and did not do it. So technically that matchup is still going if you think about it from that logical standpoint. But unfortunately, this week's Monday Night Raw, I cannot give it a 4. I'm going to have to at least give it a 3.25 out of 5. Let's go to Rick next, get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Rick?
I'm inclined to agree with you on a lot of spots. For the my best segment definitely was the Triple H, I'll say the Authority Ziggler segment, followed by that match. That was a great spot. The worst match, Big Show and Mark Henry. That was a snoozer, although I will have to give kudos to the Big Show because he did actually, for his size, did pull off some really good spots. So, but the guys, they're just two big guys who just move too slow, and it doesn't work for them. You know, when they're working as tag teams on opposite sides, you have a little, smaller guys moving a little bit faster. It would work, but it won't work. It's just snoozer. And then over to the I think they had the Rusev Sheamus match over on the network. You know, they just did it just to get people over to the network, as you was saying, and you know what? I kind of like that idea. I think they should have 1 or 2 dark matches or post matches on the network, because you know what? If I'm going to be paying $10 a month, I want to be able to watch. You know, give me a reason to get over the network a little bit more than just for my pay-per-views. Because that's the only reason really why I watch the network. That and NXT. So, you know, not a bad idea.
Yeah, you do bring us some interesting points on there. Let's go to Cartman next, get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Cartman?
Worst match, just anything with the Bellas. Just no. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Just no, just get off of TV. You're not good. Just go away and don't come back. Best match, I don't know. Just nothing was that good. It was meh. So I'd say probably give it maybe a 3. It was nothing really all that special.
Yeah. And finally, guys and gals, we're going to end it with the pro wrestling lad, Squire Alfie, with his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Alfie?
I completely agree with Cartman. Anything with Bellas, I really feel very interested. I didn't really have a best match either, because it was just that nothing stood out. I completely agree, almost word for word, nothing stood out. So probably just a bland old 2.5. I'm going in between.
All right. On that note, guys and gals, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week? What do you guys think about Sheamus and Rusev on the WWE Network? Your thoughts on Vince McMahon returning to Monday Night Raw last night and making the stipulation if Team Authority loses at Survivor Series, the Authority will no longer be empowered. We definitely want to know what you guys have to say. Put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And guys and gals, tomorrow night on Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rick and the guys have a very, very special guest. Right, Rick?
Oh, yes, we do. We have the one, the only, the WWE Hall of Famer, Nikolai Volkov. And he'll be there tomorrow night right with us. And, of course, we will have the Wrestle Gamer, Billy Boudreaux.
Yep, guys and gals, I'll definitely be there talking to the WWE Hall of Famer as well. So be sure you guys tune in for that. Cartman's over on YouTube. But Cartman, as I understood it, you are taking a break from YouTube. Yep, as we get an official nod for that. And the Pro Wrestling Alfie is on Facebook. Alfie, where can they check you out?
Well, currently I'm in the middle of a very big movie project, actually, that I'm working on for the past couple months, and everything's coming together. So just go over to the YouTube channel at Alfie Saxby, and you will find me. The film should be up very soon. I'm looking forward to it.
Fans, don't forget to follow me on the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network if you haven't already. So for the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rick Head, the man from South Park simply known as Cartman, and the pro wrestling lad Alfie, I'm the Wrestle Gamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.